Hello, you are watching The Stories That Veterans Tell. Today is Thursday, the 3rd of November, 2021, and I am here to interview Don Harger, who has had a career in the Navy and has been part of a piece of history. So we're looking forward to hearing Don's story. And can you tell us when you went into the military, Don?
I joined the reserves when I was in high school.
When you were in high school, yeah.
1958.
In 1958. And even though you were in high school, did you do like one weekend a month and so on? Good. And then when did you do basic?
I went in 59, got out in 1961.
Okay. And where did you go for basic?
I was stationed on an aircraft carrier, and we were stationed out of Rhode Island.
Okay, very good. And what was how big is an aircraft carrier when you're a 19-year-old?
1,000 feet long, and it's as big as a city.
As big as a city. I mean, it's hard for us civilians to even imagine how
And it's like 3,500 men on the ship.
3,500 men, wow. And what was your specialty?
I was in the what they call the deck force. I drove the ship. I drove Liberty boats, ran officers back and forth.
Oh,
Liberty boats.
wonderful. Oh, had you always been interested in the sea?
I was brought up on the water.
Okay, so the Navy was perfect.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to do. I didn't want to sleep in a foxhole.
No, okay.
I want to be on a ship.
This is good. And so what's striking about your story is that you were a part of history, and I would love if you could tell us about this.
Yeah, my last tour, we got to be the ship that picked up Alan Shepard, who was the first astronaut in space.
Oh my God, so where was this?
Where he actually landed?
Yeah.
Somewhere out in the middle of the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so all right, so what was it like getting ready? Did everybody on the ship know you were
What they did was they piped the ship into Nassau
Okay.
early in the morning. So we got to listen to everything that went on from the time he arrived there, what he went through, all the discussions they had, and we listened to the whole thing from the time he got there till the time he went up in space.
Wow.
And until the time he landed.
Okay, so when it was getting ready for him to touch down,
Yep.
you're in the aircraft carrier,
Yep.
and the name of this ship was?
USS Lake Champlain.
Lake Champlain. Okay, and so how big a sphere were you in before you could pinpoint exactly where and get to him?
I can't tell you. We operate with 10 destroyers and 2 submarines at all times.
Really?
That ship never moved without that fleet with it.
Wow.
So it covers quite a
Yeah.
bit of sea space.
Wow.
And our basic operations was the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh my God.
That's
And
another story.
all right, well, let's talk about Alan Shepard, then I want you
Yeah.
to tell me about the Bermuda Triangle, okay.
And it was very, very interesting. The one thing that got most of us was he would not say goodbye to his wife. He would only say, "I'll see you later."
Ah, interesting.
And when he blasted off, when he actually entered space, he was like a kid in a toy shop. He just
Yeah.
could not believe
He had this amazing
what the
opportunity.
thrill was, yeah.
Wow. All right, so now you're getting ready to pick him up. Tell us about those details.
We almost drowned him.
What?
He landed in the water, and the procedure was they had frogmen from a helicopter drop down on him. They were supposed to open up the capsule and hoist him up into the helicopter.
Okay.
When they opened the capsule, a wave went right over the top of it and almost sunk him.
Oh my
They had to
goodness.
slam it shut, then they picked it up and they brought it onto the ship,
Ship.
and you'll see a picture of it on the ship.
Oh, okay.
And that's the way they did it from then on. They never opened it, they would always
Okay.
pick it up.
All right, so that was learning by doing.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness. And were you up on deck?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and so was he buoyant and like just
Oh,
so,
he was-
and
he was,
how did,
He was beside himself.
oh,
He's a very tiny man.
really?
Yes.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a picture in there of him, the
Like, you
capsule.
wanted,
The executive officer on the ship was probably 6 foot, 300 pounds. He got in that capsule and it took 4 of us to get him out.
oh my goodness, oh wow.
It's a very small capsule.
It's a very small
Yeah.
capsule, so, yeah, wow, did you get the impression afterwards that most of the astronauts were small people?
Evidently, I mean,
Yeah.
that was the first capsule
Yeah,
we ever
right,
saw.
Right,
Whether they made him bigger or not,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
yeah.
there was no need to.
Wow.
It was almost like it was made for
For
him,
him.
his size.
Wow, wow. Oh my goodness. So, do you wanna show, pictures to this? Oh, there's your,
There's the ship.
okay, okay, we can hold it up to the, yeah.
That's
Okay,
how this is.
okay.
That's the carrier itself.
Okay, Lake Champlain.
These are pictures of me and my buddies running around. And if you can see here, that's after they picked the capsule up
Oh.
out of the water,
Okay.
after we almost
Yeah,
drowned the poor man. And they brought it on the ship.
okay.
That's a picture of the castle. That's a picture of him when he was in space.
Oh,
And this is when he was at the NASA Center,
wow.
getting ready to go out in space. Those are pictures of what he went through all the time.
Oh,
And it
that's-
started like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Wow. Oh, look at
And
that.
this is what he saw when he entered space.
And tell it, the year was
1961. Yep. Yep. You see, this is right after they slammed
The
the
capsule.
capsule shut again because they almost took on water. And that's a picture of the helicopter picking them up.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. And then we were all on the ship waiting for him to come in.
Oh, that's amazing.
It'll be coming to him pretty soon,
Okay.
coming out of the,
Okay, yeah, show us that, that's,
yeah, there he is, and here he is.
okay. Oh my goodness.
And you can tell by all of us that capsule is not very big.
Big, yeah.
That was him when he first came out and got on the deck.
Oh, oh, look at that, oh. Yeah, and there's the capsule, oh. Oh, what?
Yeah.
How,
There's the commander inside
Okay.
the capsule.
oh, and that's
You can barely see him, because he was stuffed in there
oh my goodness,
pretty good.
yeah.
And that was it.
Oh, and what is this, patch?
That's the insignia of the ship.
Okay,
And we all got these.
wow, oh, that's good,
part of
let's
our
look at,
uniform.
yeah, oh, beautiful. Oh, that's
It
wonderful.
was quite an experience.
Oh, my goodness, I would say, so when you got home, I mean, everybody wanted to hear about this, this is like, you
Oh,
were
yeah.
famous.
Yeah, well,
That is-
I wasn't, he was.
Okay, this is great. All right, now, you alluded to the fact that you were patrolling around the Bermuda Triangle, so are the stories we hear true, or heard true? Did you
Well,
encounter any really
yeah.
odd, okay,
If you've ever gone to sea in the triangle, you'll understand what really happens. We'd be up, take a Sunday afternoon, we don't work, we'd be out on a flight deck playing football, baseball,
Yeah,
whatever.
okay.
And within 3 seconds, a massive tornado would appear out of nowhere.
oh my
And
goodness.
you dive to get off that flight deck. But the storms in that angle come up instantly. So a boat of any size, 100 foot, 50 foot, would be destroyed within seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Or a plane that flew
Yeah,
into it.
but-
I've been on the ship, I've been on the bridge, driving the ship, when the compasses would just start spinning for no reason whatsoever. You had no idea which way you were going, and it would end as fast as it started.
Oh my,
And it's all because of the way the currents meet in that particular area.
wow.
And you understand why boats disappear, or planes disappear.
And so it's the kind of like the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean and.
Right, just where all the currents meet in that one area, and the different temperatures create these
Wow.
crazy storms that come up out of nowhere.
Oh my goodness, that's scary, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so the force of that, I mean, you're on this giant aircraft carrier, but the force of this is wrecking havoc, wrecking havoc with something that is that.
We had one storm that came up. We had to send the destroyers and the subs away because
Oh,
the flight deck is 85 feet above the water. I stood on the flight deck and looked up at the top of the waves.
oh my goodness.
Tore the flight deck off the ship. 17 planes that were chained down were just torn off the ship and thrown out. It took us days. We happened to get in between two swells and just rode there for days until it finally calmed down.
What time of year? Do you remember? Is it,
It could be any time.
anytime? Okay.
Anytime. If you've ever seen the movie The Perfect Storm,
Yes, yes.
you see that little tiny boat? Well, that's exactly
Oh,
what
what
it
it
looks
felt
like.
like. Oh my gosh.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what it looks like. And
Wow.
some of the nastiest storms you've ever seen in your life can happen out in the ocean.
Wow.
And it's something you just
You
don't
don't-
realize
right.
until you're there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh. Wow. All right, now, I'm sure you've heard the song, I joined the Navy to see the world and all that I see, I saw the sea.
Yeah.
And now, was that part of your experience, or did you get to see a lot of places in the world?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay.
The most amazing thing I can say is there's no place like home.
Okay, oh, all right, yeah.
Nowhere.
Okay.
Nowhere I went would I ever want to be rather than here.
Okay. Interesting.
And you go some places where you don't think that people hate you. They literally hate you.
Wow, and so you were on shore leave, or you were there and,
Usually when you go into a port, you get,
yeah,
brief periods of shore
yeah,
leave.
yeah,
So you get to deal with the people, and
and sometimes that wasn't good,
sometimes it wasn't too pleasant.
no, oh,
Yeah.
wow,
Haiti was one of the worst.
and so, and so when you see it the country continued to be ravaged and so on by
Right.
circumstance and weather and,
We had to go on liberty in groups of 10. If you got caught in less than 10, you were court-martialed.
wow, for your own protection.
Right, and when you went up the main street in town, you were not allowed to go to the left side of that town.
Okay,
We had 4 men that never came back.
wow,
We never found them.
oh my goodness.
It's hard to believe some of the things you see
See,
go on.
right. Now, did you go to Guantanamo? Were you in Cuba?
I was there in the evacuation of quite a few people.
Really? Oh my
Yep,
goodness.
that was an experience.
Wow. My dad was there when Castro came into power, and at that point, and he was able to call us, he was in the Navy, and said, and we were all happy because at that point Batista was this awful dictator, and it seemed like a good thing at the time, so it's.
Yeah, we were evacuating all the civilians,
Okay,
and the ship can't go into a port. We anchored in the harbor, and they had these little, if you've ever seen a PT boat,
yeah,
well, these boats were probably half the size of that, and they had a machine gun mounted on the front. And they were out patrolling the harbor because they would come down and dug out boats at night and try and bomb us going back and forth.
Wow,
And,
yeah.
It was,
That was hard.
It
That
was
was heavy
hairy.
duty, yeah, yeah.
and the sharks in that harbor,
Oh, really? Oh,
if you ever fell overboard, you'd never make it.
oh my goodness.
It's just loaded with sharks.
Wow. In another interview I did with a Navy veteran, he talked about the need for all of the sailors to be trained firefighters because of fires on ship.
Yeah.
Did you experience that too?
Yeah, when you go through boot camp, you have
Yeah.
to go through fire training.
Okay.
Because it is, a fire on ship is serious.
Yeah.
So everybody has a part and everybody has a job that they do. And you're all assigned to different places and what you do.
Don, in your career, did you have commanders whose leadership style affected your life in a really good way, that you admired or they mentored you? Any experience, or the opposite?
It's funny, in the Navy, Sunday is considered what they call holiday routine.
Okay,
You just go out,
yeah,
have fun if you're not on watch. We had one admiral for a long time, who didn't believe in holiday routine.
Ah,
I was issued jeans, dungarees and stuff when I joined the Navy. I never got to wear them. We worked in undressed whites and undressed blues. Because
really?
he couldn't stand the sight of dungarees.
Really? Oh my goodness.
And about 8 months before I got out, we got a new commander. And the first Sunday when everybody was working, he came out, he threw a fit. What's going on here? We're supposed to be playing.
Oh, and everybody was happy he was
We
in
went on
command.
holiday routine after that.
Oh, good.
Everybody loved him.
Oh,
It's funny how you can get one person has one idea and another one is just totally the
Right,
opposite. It
yeah.
makes life a lot different.
it does make life a lot different. Are you in contact with people that you served with?
I have a few of the one of them became my brother-in-law.
Oh, nice.
Married my sister. And a few of the others from New York and New Jersey, I saw a few of them have died. They had heart trouble and they have died.
And
I don't see many of them anymore.
okay. Now, your experience in the Navy, did that shape your career choices when you got out? How long were you in the Navy altogether?
Oh, when you're reserve, you do 6 years.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I was completely discharged in '64.
Okay, and so did your Navy service affect what you decided to do for your career after that?
Not really. My whole family worked for the telephone company at the time. I started out there. I wasn't overly thrilled with that. My cousin happened to be in the elevator trade,
Okay.
and he got me into the elevator trade, and that was my life.
Oh, interesting.
It's a very, very rewarding career.
Good. And do you think, maybe the attention to detail and the mindset that you develop as a member of the service helped that you be successful as a,
It's very, very safety
yeah,
oriented, and the elevator trade is based on
Yes.
safety.
yeah, good.
It really is.
Good. Oh, that's wonderful. When people say, Don, thank you for your service, how do you react?
You can't explain it. It's, you actually get chills. And every time I see somebody, if I'm in a restaurant or something, I see, servicemen sitting there, I will walk up to them and thank them,
Oh, that's wonderful.
because it really means a lot to us.
Good. Is that, for people who haven't served, is that one of the things you want people to know? That,
It's hard to say. A lot of people, they have their own ideas and their own values of what they want. To me, serving my country made everything to me,
good.
everything. One of the things that hurts is when they started this protesting at the national anthem.
And that was something that you,
That goes deep.
yeah,
We gave our lives, our friends gave their lives to defend this country and that flag. That's no place for a protest.
and that is something that it just tears at you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It really does. And every serviceman I talk to says the same thing. You can't help it.
Yeah, this is, and so that, for people to understand what that means to a veteran
Right.
is
It
important.
does. It means everything.
Any other stories you want to share with us? What do you think? Did you have a character, did you serve with someone on the ship who was a real character that you'll never forget?
Yeah, one of my dearest friends.
Okay, you want to tell us about him?
We were in the service probably, I don't know, on the ship together, year and a half. We went on a 6-month cruise out. We came back, we pulled into Quonset Point, Rhode Island, and we're walking down the pier. We're on leave, we're going home. And his name was Bobby Brooks. He's on this side of me, and we're walking along. And the next thing I know, he's on that side of me. And I look back, he had a twin brother.
Oh, you're kidding.
None of us knew. He was on another ship. The two of them switched ships for the entire cruise, and no one ever knew.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
You can't even imagine.
Oh, my.
I spent 6 months with this guy who I never really even knew, and never knew. They were different. It's,
Oh, that's a good
yeah,
one. That's a
we
really
run into
good
some
one.
funny stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's a, the only other interesting thing I think that people should know, but they don't know, when a president flies across water, from the point he leaves land, there is a ship within sight of that plane till he gets to land on the other
I
side of the
did
ocean.
not know that at all.
Neither did we.
Wow.
Every 18 miles, there is a ship. So that plane is never, ever out of sight. You can imagine how many ships it takes to go
Yeah.
from here to England?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it was something
Wow.
we never knew.
Interesting, no. Yeah, oh, see, now this is why these stories are wonderful. You know, people need to know
Maybe
things.
one other one.
Good.
Of course, I laugh about it now. My job on a gun mount was to set fuses on a 5-inch shell,
Oh,
and we'd have gunnery practice. What they do is they take a propeller-driven plane, and they get a long cable, it's probably maybe half a mile long. They put a sleeve on the end of it, and they tow it through the air, and you're supposed to fire at that sleeve. And when the shell goes off, it leaves a big black cloud.
okay.
So what they do is, they'll set 5 degrees below, 10 degrees to the left, that's where that black cloud is supposed
Let's
to be.
go.
And that was a hit.
Okay.
Well, we didn't like gunnery practice. So what we do is, we had a friend up in the gunnery control would give us the offset coordinates. And we change them to blow the sleeve off the end of the cable. You'd have to wait until the plane went all the way back to land, got another one, and came back out again. Well, the old man, the skipper, got fed up with that one day, and he said, okay, I'll fix you. They brought a jet out. We never fired at a jet.
Okay.
First time he went out almost out of sight, comes back, and he was gone before we even got the mount going.
Yeah, it was,
So the skipper system, we're listening to it on the radio system. 30 miles, go out 30 miles, and then turn around and come back. So he goes out 30 miles, he turns around, he's coming back. We locked in on him. When we fired the first round, we took the tail right off the jet.
oh!
What nobody realized was the steel cable, if you're locked on long enough, the radar will walk itself up that cable to the biggest part of the target.
Oh, my goodness.
You wanna hear a mad pilot?
Oh.
Was he?
Ooh, there were a lot of explanatory reports
Yeah.
that needed to be done
Yeah,
after
he-
that.
He wasn't happy.
Oh.
We thought it was funny.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Oh, wow.
Other than that, it's really, in peacetime, it's a pretty boring life,
And
really. It's just a lot of work
a
and,
lot of, yeah, that's, yeah,
you know, hanging with your friends, but
yeah, that, the buddies and the friends that you make on board ship are
Yep.
strong connection.
yeah, your biggest entertainment is, the hangar deck on a carrier is, we call it polished steel. It's very, very smooth and shiny. And every night they have movies, but they have metal folding chairs.
Okay,
And the ship rolls constantly. It's very slow on a carrier, it does that.
okay.
What you do is, well, the regulars pick your feet up and put them on the chair, and
And
the
you
chairs will slide back and forth. And the new guys on the ship sit there and they look at you, it
What's
takes them about 4 minutes and they're hanging over the rail getting
Oh,
sick.
no.
That was our entertainment.
Oh, my goodness. Now, how long did were you ever seasick?
First time I went out,
The first time you went out?
because the ship never sits still,
Okay.
and you're constantly learning how to walk,
Okay.
doing this,
Wow.
or doing this.
And
The first
so-
time you go out, it's not a nice feeling, it
No,
really
and
isn't.
then you get.
And after that, you just get
you're
used to it, it
fine.
doesn't bother you anymore.
Good.
You don't even know what's doing it.
Wow, that's amazing. Don, thank you so much.
Oh,
I
you're
am
welcome.
so delighted that we got a chance to talk today. Thank
It
you
was
for
fun.
doing this. Good.